Alright, so first thing that I do every morning is I get up and I see which stocks are moving. Who's got the biggest gains, what's going to be moving the most, everything. So, what I like to use is Bazinga. And then here you go. It's going to give you pre-market gainers, volume, and of course volume is always key. I mean that's what moves stocks, even on gainers and losers. But when a stock is moving, you gotta look at the volume. So what I look at when I'm looking at volume is I look at the volume that they have right now, and then I look at their average 10-day volume. You just go however you're gonna, whatever platform you use. I use TD Ameritrade, obviously. So I'm gonna go into my TD Ameritrade account, and we are gonna look up SYPR. So when we're looking at volume, their volume is they're currently doing 36.3 million shares. And their average 10-day volume is 1.2 million. So, as you can see, they're crushing their 10-day average. They have extremely good news. So, whenever I'm looking at a stock, the MACD needs to be below 10 usually, and the RSI definitely needs to be below 40. So the reason I try not to get flustered, or I don't get flustered when the market goes down, is because of the way that we set up our portfolio, and we're prepared for a drop. We keep money to the side and not invested. Hey baby. So we can buy the dips, so we can use the margin to day trade, so we can get in and out of stocks. I never put my whole portfolio in, or all my money in at one time. I always keep money ready to go to buy dips. And sometimes when you're messing with these stocks that move 100, 200, 300%, when the bottom drops out, it happens really, really fast. Sometimes they get halted, and then it's even harder to get out. And SYPR is holding at the market open. That is usually a very good sign for a company to make a big move throughout the day, especially when they start the morning off at 150, 160, 100% gains, and they do not the bottom doesn't fall out immediately at the bell. Has a potential for a very big run. You can only use your margin. I personally think you can only use your margin after your total investment is already out there. So once you invest your $2,000, then your margin will be available to buy and sell dips. So if your portfolio is going to start out with $2,000, it doesn't matter what y'all start out with, $2,000, $5,000, $500, whatever, but you have to split it up to where you will be comfortable with a loss and still being able to buy some dips. So me personally, I think that you should start off with 60 to 70% of your money out there in your first initial investment. That gives you room to either, if your stocks go up, then you can move somewhere else and find different stocks to invest in. Or if your initial investment goes down 20, 30, 40%, then you can say, okay, well, am I going to continue with this stock, or am I going to sell it? If you're going to continue, that's what we leave the money on the side for. You can buy that dip with 10 or 20% of what's left. And so this is SNDL currently. Started out at the market open. It opened around the 130 range, and here recently took off to around the 144 range. Currently coming back down. This stock moves a lot. There's times in the market that your portfolio just keeps going down, 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 down. You have to be prepared for things like that and not have money in there that you can't afford to lose. Most of the time, if we find good stocks, if you do your homework and you invest right, usually those stocks are going to come back up. That's why we say buy the dip. I don't ever add no more to my position after my initial investment when the stock is going up. I feel that if I wanted to buy more, I should have done it at the initial time of investing. So at my initial investment, whenever it starts going up, I never add to it. I only add to it when it's going down. And usually I will, if I get into a stock and it goes down by 30%, I will buy 50% more of what my initial investment was. So usually on all my trades that I get started in, I do anywhere between 5,000 and 7,500. Depending on what the stock is sitting at, the price at the time. So if it drops by 25-30%, I will either add 2,500 or 3,500. But if you're investing into a stock that you believe in, then you should already believe that stock is going to come back up after it drops 30%. So why not make some more money on the way up? So this is what we currently sit in right now. ABML, ACST, which we just picked up yesterday post market, AHT, CTRM, Express, HCMC, PEI, SNDL, and TNXP. We try to keep our portfolio diversified. My watch list that I made for y'all last night. Hot stocks. GameStop. Yes, I have plans for GameStop if it gets into the 225, 250 range. What my normal trade is 5,000. So when one of these numbers, like yesterday, Express got to whatever it got to, and I originally had 3,000 shares of Express. Well, when this number got to 10,000, I sold half of my shares, and I let the remaining balance go for as long as I please. That's just the way I do it. You can let your whole original investment run if you like, but that just gives me the option to either take that $5,000 and go reinvest it somewhere else or put it in my pocket. Still, I cashed out half of my shares and let this run. I do this with all my stocks. See, ABML, I should be selling half of ABML today. I'm just waiting to see what it does when the market opens, because I believe in this stock more than I do other stocks. I think this stock will go to the $4 range relatively quickly, if not at least $3.50. But I will probably be selling my shares, half of my shares, and letting the other half of the investment do its work. Now, there's many times to where I'll let this get to double and I will sell all of it because it's not really a company that I'm too big on. Like Express. If Express gets anywhere close to the $5, $6, $7 range, I will sell the entire portfolio of it. And the reason I want to get on Naked is because I think the potential of this company is very high. The momentum behind it, the volume stays high. It's on everybody's radar right now, and the stock price moves tremendously. You can make a lot of money getting in and out of stocks like this. Not necessarily in the same day. Sometimes it takes a week, 2 weeks, a month, So, I mean, we're not going long on it, but we're not afraid to hold it for a little while, especially if we get it at a good price. So, for anybody that is following on Express or SNDL, watch for these huge spikes for no reason. Whenever these huge spikes come out of nowhere, usually they trickle back down. So, if you find a happy gain in between there, I mean, don't be afraid to sell your whole portfolio or all your shares and get back in whenever it drops, because whenever these companies come out when they have no news and it just goes up 60, 80, 100%, most of the time it comes trickling right back down.